Merry Christmas.
Uh, there wasn't anything up there. I just go here. I'm unmuted. Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, there we go. The first Tuesday training after AEP. What'd y'all think about AEP? Yeah, Joe didn't participate. Joe, what'd you think of AEP? It was all right, very good. Well, Seth is working on getting our screen here working for us and getting our Zoom ready to go. We're going to start working on just kind of learning different styles, how to be prepped for different types of lead flows, and what to really get ready for, how to handle a different type of lead depending on what you're getting. Most of you are used to working two types of leads, and that is inbound benefit driven leads, enroll here, or you're used to working like current clients who are rewrites. And so we're going to work on that. We're going to talk about different types of flows that we can have, and what we will run into, especially next year when we start running some different campaigns. There we go. All right, everybody good for Sid. Getting this worked out here. Now I can focus and get us going. Very good. Now, AEP, those of you who are joining us virtually, if you weren't, keeping up or you haven't heard yet, we did over 5,100 applications. So it was very successful, but it's time to stop reminiscing on the past and move forward, right? We can only live on the success of yesterday for about a day, and then it's time to, we got 48-hour window there that we all celebrated and had a good time, but now it's time to move forward, get better, start looking at what we're going to do and what we're going to process. And so today we're going to talk about just different scenarios we can run into, how to handle them, and we're really going to start with like maybe some like just kind of generic lead types that you guys should expect to run into next year. We're going to be running some, marketing that encourages people to call in, and there's going to be a whole flow, a whole different, like a whole bunch of different flows that you may run into, a whole bunch of different lead types that you may run into when we really get going into it. And we're going to talk about each one, how to handle that, how to really run into that, and I may call on you today to talk about some of these things. So if you get called on, what do you do? Someone tell me, what do you do if you get called on today? You talk about some of those things. Don't give me the old looking at me, can't believe I called on you type move. So everybody be prepared to be called on, and I need to be prepared because I've lost all my notes here. So yeah, y'all clap for me. Yeah, yeah, there you go. All right, no, here we go. So first things first that we're going to talk about today is that there's, again, and I keep saying this and we go back to it, there's different types of lead flows that we're going to run into, different types of people, different types of customers that we run into. And a lot of you are so used to working a current book of business, whether that be the Brock book of business or the CP book of business, whatever it may be. You've been used to working some kind of lead flow. Do I need this one too?
No, no.
What about this one? That's already.
That is for you.
Okay, perfect. Very good. Understood. All right, let me put this on. There we go. So now I got two mics on, dude. They call me two mics. Two mics. So anyway, what we're going to talk about is really like mind shift changes and how to prepare for each different type of client, right? I can seriously sit here and call on each like agent and tell you like which one you prioritize and how you try to talk to everybody the same. Some of you will talk to every single customer that you run into like they're an enroll here or a benefit driven lead. Like you talk to every single customer that way. And when you get a T65 that's very sophisticated on the phone and you're sitting there going, so Betty, tell me, do you have Medicare Part A and B effective? They're like, dude, this guy sucks. Some of you talk to benefit driven leads like you would a sophisticated T65. You get on the phone, you go, Miss Betty, tell me, what LIS level are you today? Can you tell me what that is? And they're like, yeah, see this fool later. Boom, hang up and go. Like you gotta understand that every customer is completely different, right? And what we're going into next year, you've been working AEP, and let me tell you something. We crushed it this AEP. You know why? Because the brand around here that Justin has built is incredible, right? Everybody knows who Brock Partners is in this area. When they come to us, they know who we are. When they call us, they're calling us for a reason. You're not having to really, I guess, you're not really having to decipher why they're in touch with you and then figure out how to communicate to that person. You don't have to do that. But every customer is different, right? So, a couple points here. Every customer has a different, I'm not going to sit here and write the word different 15 times. Every customer has different expectations. Every customer has different intent. Every customer has different resistance. I like this. Every customer has different knowledge. And every customer has different emotional states. And we know that one's for sure because a lot of you have been cussed out already and you come complain to me about it. You have different emotional states, by the way. Some of you get cussed out and you don't even think about it. You're like, all right, whatever, cool. Some of y'all get cussed out and you come to my cubicle and you, oh my God, Jackson. They said the F word at me and then they hung up on me. I don't know what I got to go outside and I got to take 15 laps around Tupelo, Mississippi in my vehicle. I can't handle this. Like, you know what I mean? And it's funny. Like, it's fine. I'm not like, I am making fun of you a little bit, but it's okay. It's like, go take your laps, go do your things. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't need you to stay in here and like be upset all day. You need to go cool off, go cool off. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that even you have different emotional states and the way that y'all handle things is completely different. That's what you need to understand about these customers is they also handle things very different, right? What did he do? What did he say? Oh, yeah, you talking about Josh and Holt on the call. Holt acting like he's still working, like he's got like a book out in front of him or something while he's running. All right, so so we have expectations, intent, resistance, knowledge, and emotional states, right? We're going to come back and we're going to reference this a good bit through this training. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to reference these things right here. That's 5 of them. We're going to talk about 5 different lead flows, and we're going to take it one at a time, and we're going to work together to talk about exactly what these are going to look like for each type of customer base, right? So the 5 types of customers we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to, I guess I can make it smaller. There we go. Yeah. 5 different types of customers. We're going to take this one at a time, one at a time. The first one, we're going to make this easy, what all of you learned on, right? Inbound leads. We're going to talk about inbound leads. We're going to talk about these 5 different things, what it looks like for the inbound lead, what this looks like for them, right? And I need you to take notes, even if I'm not necessarily writing notes up here. If you get an inbound lead, it's going to be different, obviously, from like a T65. Somebody give me an example of an inbound lead. What do I mean, Ethan, by inbound lead?
Enroll here.
Something like enroll here. What's another inbound lead?
Local. All ends.
Kind of, but that's not what I mean by inbound lead. Yeah, I should have put inbound transfer. It can be T65 or it can be some kind of marketing that we ran and maybe we had a marketer or a telemarketer call them, pick it up, and then they transfer it over, something like that. But an inbound lead, what I mean by that, I really probably should put the word inbound transfer. Now, someone tell me, what is the expectation? And I need you to raise your hand and wait for the mic to get to you before you answer. What is the expectation of an inbound lead? Someone tell me. Who wants to answer that? What's the expectation? Jordan, what's the expectation?
The food card.
Food card. Okay. We can translate that into what else? Benefits. That is an expectation, right? That is an expectation. One of their expectations is they expect benefits. Sure. What's another expectation for these people? What's another expectation? They expect this. They expect something. What is it?
Transactional.
Ooh, yes, they do expect a transaction. Somebody expect. Someone explain what expecting a transaction means. They are ready. I wouldn't necessarily describe it that way. They respect, that's it right there. They expect results. That's a good way to, but Jared, you were on the right path there, but I would word it that way. They expect results, right? They expect a transaction. That's really what this means, right? Action, the word transaction, there's action. They expect some kind of action to take place that puts a benefit in their possession. Let's see here. Someone else give me another one. What else do they expect? What do these inbound leads expect when you get on the phone with them? Well, let's talk about that. Do they expect you to be knowledgeable when you get on the phone with them? Who's worked a lot of enroll here? If you overeducate, what happens? With these inbound leads, they do want you to expect to know something, but knowledgeable, yes, I agree with they expect you to be knowledgeable, but we got to be even more like, I guess my point I'm trying to make here is we have to be even more specific with that. Each one, yes, they do expect knowledge, but we'll get there, right? What do these people expect you to know about? Whatever benefit that they called in about, right? So that would go into that, right? Someone give me one more here. Expect what? There's one specific thing I'm looking for, and I'm hoping direct. That's close to what I'm looking. What? Simple. We're getting closer. We're getting close. Oh, that's it. There's the word. Why didn't you just say it out loud, Cameron? No. Never do that. If you say an answer under your breath and then someone says it out loud and you go, "Oh, I said that." Oh, well, you should have been a baller and say it out loud. So they expect this not you didn't get in trouble. They expect this to be quick. They well listen. They expect this to be quick. They expect it to be quick. You understand? So why is that? And have y'all kind of caught on some of this stuff? In the beginning, we teach you a hook for like enroll here or an inbound lead. What are some of the things that we really emphasize in our hook? We emphasize what? Benefits, right? We emphasize transaction or a transaction. How do we emphasize transaction? What phrase do we use? My job. It implies that this is a transaction, right? And then they expect it to be quick. How are we painting a picture of this is going to be quick?
Talking fast.
Some of us are just talking really fast. What you got, Mara? I see the gears turning.
By ensuring that by telling them that you already know what they want, and my goal is to do that. So it's like being
boom, right? Exactly. We're taking control of the call, and we're telling them like, hey, this is what you're looking for. This is what we can do. This is what you're looking for. It's not a whole lot of asking questions in the beginning, right? That's why those of you who go straight into asking questions right off the rip, we're on like a platform like Enroll Here, or you're working an inbound lead. That's why you get hung up on a lot, right? If you start asking questions immediately, you know what this person thinks? Oh, this is going to take forever. It's going to take a long time, right? They just want to get down to business, right? So the expectation is definitely different. Now, what is this person's intent? Someone tell me what the intent is. They intend to what? They intend to get something. Cameron, that is true. They do intend to get something. What is that what they intend to get in?
Save money.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
They intend to intend. Did I spell it right?
It's missing the end. Intent.
I-T-E-N-D.
Intent.
Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. Intend to save money. All right. We got a camera rolling. All right. Intend to save money. They intend to save money. Bobo said they intend or they expect accurate answers, accurate and timely information for sure. They intend to save money, right? They intend to save money. So when we get them on the phone, they're intending to save money. How do they tell us that? What is it that they say that we're like, okay, yeah, they want to save money? They typically say what? They're looking for what? Food card, grocery card, money back card, Part B give back. They're looking for something like that, right? Now, here's the bottom line. Your best salespeople will take that bit of information and they will turn the intention all on to saving money, right? Now, your great agents, people who are, I'm going to make sure they got the best coverage in the world. Like they say something like this. They go, well, yeah, we're gonna save you some money, but we're also going to take a look at your coverage. That's nice. Sounds great, I guess. Thank you for being a friend. But at the end of the day, being a salesperson is taking their intention and then doing both based on their intention. Does that make sense? What I mean by that is I'm going to make sure everybody I talk to has great coverage. That should be implied, right? Let me give you a conversation I have with my wife, and some of you guys who are married can tell me if you had this conversation before. My wife said something along the lines of, we were just joking, and she had a work person, found out her husband was cheating. She goes, what keeps you from cheating on me? And you know what my answer was? I said, I don't need drama in my life, dude. That's too much drama. And she goes, oh, is it not just because you love me? I was like, that part's just implied. That should be implied, and that should be, but I didn't communicate that well, I guess. But that part should be implied. It should be implied that every person I help, I'm going to give good coverage to, right? If I'm having to tell someone how good a person I am on the phone, I didn't have enough tonality or energy at the beginning of the call. You hear what I'm saying? Like, first of all, you speak perfect English. That's going to be a huge benefit to you. And I'm not trying to be like prejudiced or anything, but it's a big deal to old people. It is, right? You either need to sound like you're from the South or you need to sound like you're from like South Africa or Australia. Those are the kind of ones that they really seniors, they really into those accents, right? So being Southern, big deal. I say perfect English. We actually speak poor English. Maybe that's what it
I
is.
think it's good.
What's up, bro? You want a food card, bro? Anyway, we have that on our side, right? Now what we need to do is we need to communicate in a way that's like, hey, based on their intention. What is their intention? If I get another little lesson here, another illustration. When we go play football and somebody's not like super set on going, right? Do I focus on everything that's like fundamental about the game of football to get them there? No, I don't go, well, now listen, Ethan, if you come play football, you're going to get great exercise. You're going to learn how to operate a pool or run behind a center in this position, whatever. I'm not sitting here giving fundamentals. What I'm saying is, dude, it's going to be sick. It's going to be wet outside. Show up or you're fired, right? It's funny that Jordan's the one that says that because he's the only one that doesn't come. All right, so so listen, back in. But the point is, I'm going to take what's appealing to you and your attention, right? For example, Matt's intention when he comes is that he does want exercise. He does wants to have fun while he's exercising. So that's something that I'll bring up to Matt. I'm like, look, man, we're going to get out there. We're going to run around. It's going to be a good way to get some energy off. It's going to be a great way to, when I'm talking to, Bobo about it, it's a totally different conversation. It's like, hey, Bobo, you want to go play football, dude? It's going to be sick. We're going to be running into each other. We're going to be like busting each other in the mouth and stuff. It's just going to be a good old time with a bunch of dudes. He's like, yeah, man, that sounds good. Yeah. Totally different conversation. All right. And that's what's happening here. We got to find out what the intention is behind this conversation, and we need to focus on that. What else is an intention they have? What do they intend to do? Come on, sales guys. They intend to not swap. Dude, that's a good answer. They intend to, I'm going to put it in quotes, not swap. That's a great answer. They intend to not swap. Now, why is this a great answer? Someone tell me this is a great answer.
It's true.
It is true.
It's a common objection.
It's a common objection. I don't want to swap. It is very true that these people are not calling in to swap. Some agents, the call becomes about swapping. way too quick. That's what it is. They go like I love it when I hear it, and I've heard some of y'all do this before. I love when it's at the very beginning of the call. It's, well, if I can find you a plan that gets you those benefits, would that work for you? Well, I told you I'm not swapping. Well, the only way I'm going to help you is if you have the. I'm like, dang, bro, chill out. It's way too early. Way too early in the conversation, right? That's not how it works. Not how it works, right? That's how you get a high burn rate, which is not good, by the way. It's they take the call. They go, "Hey, will you swap plans to get more money?" Nope. See ya. Boom. That's. I didn't get billed. Yeah. What's funny is y'all don't realize this. I have a stat that shows me who does that. It's not great when that happens, right? So, I'm not saying. All right. So listen. They intend to not swap. So my conversation should not be about what at the beginning of the call.
Swapping.
Shouldn't be about swapping. It shouldn't be about swapping. It shouldn't be. It should be based on what they're intending to do. They're intending to save money. They're intending to get benefits back. That's what we need to focus on. And I'll put that intend to, we'll put in parentheses, get bennies. All right. All right. Next, resistance. Someone tell me, what is the resistance level? What if I had to, if on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the resistance level of an inbound lead?
6.5.
Someone that's transferred in. What is the resistance level? Think about the whole scope of what,
8.
Nate?
Like,
5?
say 7. Like easy is
1 being easy, 10 being really difficult.
say 3.
I'm with John P. It's around a 3.
These people ain't called it BA leads.
Y'all ain't called VA leads, and that's a fact. Look at Tucker laughing. That's a fact, Jack. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean these people are easy to close. That's not what we mean, right? When you get 10 group coverage plans in a row, that sucks. They're hard to beat. I'm with you. I get that. But the resistance on these is actually the definition of easy. This person called in to talk about a benefit. The resistance is completely like not even there. Now, when you use the wrong words and the wrong phrasing, then yeah, the resistance go up. But if the resistance is high, what is most likely the reason for that?
They've had a bad experience.
Got a bad experience? I would say the bad experience is right now. If they're having a lot of resistance in this conversation, the bad experience is right now. Why are they having a bad experience? They called in about what? They called in about getting leads. They called in about getting benefits. No, I say getting leads. They called in about getting benefits, getting money back. Maybe we didn't use the right buzzwords. Maybe they, didn't get the attention quick enough. We didn't move in a way that's quick. Didn't spend enough time on the hook, right? Something like that, right? But if the resistance level is low, how much time do I need to spend in the beginning convincing them to talk to me? Virtually zero. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Some of us would pick up the phone and our greeting is a minute and a half long because we're going, thanks for holding. This is Jackson with Brock Partners. We are the greatest insurance company in the world, and we're going to make sure that we get you the right coverage today that's going to save you money and get you the best benefits that you can get. Now, I'm guessing that you called in because you saw something about a food card today, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to take plenty of time to talk to you today and make sure that you're getting the greatest customer service that you've ever got in your life. You're not going to find another agent that's as great as me, right? You may be sold. This person hung up 3 minutes ago, right? Sounds great, but you move all of that where? Where does all of that come into your call? The very end. Boom. That comes to the end. Comes to the end of my call. Telling them how awesome we are and how much we're going to do stuff for them and how we're going to be. That comes at the very end of that conversation. You understand? After I sold them on what? Benefits. Y'all understand what I'm saying here? If this person calls in, they're expecting benefits, their intention is to get benefits, I'm going to sell them on what? Benefits. Once I sell them on benefits, Once I sell them on benefits, that's a different day. Once I sell them on benefits, then I can start selling them on Bright Partners or myself, right? That's when that comes into play. Matter of fact, who's heard me do an enroll here call before? When do I start talking about Jackson Taylor and how great he is? It's like maybe I start talking about that on the T65 call that I take later. That's when I start talking about it. Right? I don't do it right here. Doesn't matter. They don't care. So why do I need to bring it up? Right? If I come to Jordan and I want to talk about how great of a movie Brokeback Mountain is, he's not interested. Right? Jordan immediately is like, listen, Jackson, I only watch 8 seconds. That's it. When you want to talk about 8 seconds, then we'll talk. But I ain't talking about no other movie. Should got picture of the year with its 28% Rotten Tomato score. Listen. Right? Back in. I know like 90% of you love 8 seconds. That's why I made fun of it. So I'm not going to go to Jordan and talk about that. If I want to have a conversation, if my intention is like, you know what, I want to have a conversation with Jordan. You know what I'm going to bring up most likely? Alabama football. Road Tide. That's probably what I'm going to bring up, right? You talk about Alabama football, I can get Jordan talking all day long. You can. John P., I can talk about a whole bunch of different things. He's got a lot of interest. It's easy. Matt, I got to talk about something very specific. It's either got to be like music, the gym, video games, and a lot of the stuff, like I don't really do anymore. Like video games, I don't play video games very often. I played last night and I was like, dang, why did I do this? Anyway, I had to figure out a way to communicate in a way that's interesting to him, right? Resistance, though, at the beginning, I don't need to spend all my time trying to convince this person they need to talk to me. I need to focus on what's important to them, get going, and follow that flow. That's exactly what we do. That's how you handle that, right? Some of you do a great job of that. Let me tell you why. You know who does a great job of like avoiding resistance on inbound leads? Yeah, specifically Joe does. Yes. Is that who you're pointing out? Yeah, John P. also does. John P. pound for pound is our most pivotal salesperson. That's why y'all point at him for like everything. All right? Y'all should take a lot. When I say pivotal, what I mean is any lead I put up here, he's good at it. Straight up. Right? Now, Joe is specifically really good at inbound leads. You know why? He don't think about it. He don't overthink anything. Joe's just like, all right, yeah, bet, let's go. I got someone on the phone. Let's talk. And he crushes it, dude. He does. He doesn't think about it. T-Fin the same way. Doesn't think about it. He's like, all right, bet. Right? It's so funny to me. Like I got guys like Joe, T-Fin, and Luke who are all rookies. They'll get on like an inbound lead transfer, like enroll here or something like that, and they'll go. They never come up to me. There's some people that come up to me every call. They have like this scenario. Listen, she's got a drug plan in Wisconsin, right? And I'm looking at all these other things in Wisconsin, and LIS levels are blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking to myself, these are relevant questions, they're fine. But like Joe has never asked that question. He's working the same leads. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you not to come ask me questions. I want y'all to come ask me questions. The point is, he doesn't think about it, right? Now, that probably can be a problem with what type of lead flow? T65s. Typically, that can be a problem there. You don't think about it enough, or you try to rush too much, right? And we'll get to those in a minute. Anyway, let's move forward. So resistance is low. That's what we're going to put. Resistance futile is low. RoboCop's got the best UFC and video games all day long. That's Crosby. Crosby, I'm into some UFC, but video games, man, I've got to be in the right mood, dude. I suck at them. That's why. Knowledge. How much do these people know about Medicare? Zip. They know zip about Medicare, right? They know zip about Medicare. Half that's wrong. Now, what do they want to know about Medicare by the time they get done with you?
What they're paying and what coverage they got.
They want to know how much money I save. How much money did I save? How much money I saved. That's what they want to know. They don't want to know the ins and outs of Medicare. They don't want to know, like, hey, if you were to go to this 340B pharmacy, that medicine would say you would save 50 cents a month on that. It's a heck of a deal, isn't it? $76 a year. Think about that, Betty. They don't want to know all that stuff. Is it relevant? Yeah. Do I go over some of the benefits? Absolutely, I do, because this is their coverage. I'm a good person. But at the same time, they don't want to be Medicare experts, right? They don't want to know exactly what this is, what that is, what this is, what that is. Betty, let me tell you, I'm going over this Part B drugs co-insurance with you. Let me tell you what medicines are considered Part B drugs real quick. Yeah, don't worry. None of them, you're not taking any of them. I'm going to go through a list of them with you. All right, have a clue, dude, right? Let's go quick. Emotional states. What is the emotional state of an inbound lead? Someone tell me. Unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Listen, hey, unpredictable. Unpredictable. They may be over here. They may be over here. I've had people that start over here and then they're all the way over here, 30 seconds later. It's unpredictable. You don't really know. It's hard to predict what the emotional state of this person is, right? They may be one place, they may be another. Your job is to keep them in the middle as much as possible. That's what your job is. If they go way crazy over here, no problem. Don't sweat it. Don't freak out. Just, okay, hey, perfect. Now, here's where some of you could really use some work. Some of you, they go like, I'm gonna draw this out. I think it's gonna make sense, right? Here is like emotional states of the customer and the agent, right? I'm gonna put agent right here, customer right here. Right? Now, ideally, everybody's just right there, right in the middle the whole time, right? Customer goes crazy out of nowhere and they're over here. What do a lot of agents end up doing when that happens? They don't meet them all the way there. They'll jump up even maybe just a little bit. That's still not ideal. Maybe even you go over here, right? Just a little change is enough to keep them where they are. What's the ideal thing to do, Jared? You stay right there. They go crazy, you just, okay, stay completely and totally in check. What that's going to do to them is going, okay, cool, didn't react. That's really what's going to happen. With someone who's unpredictable, this is not just in Medicare sales, by the way, this is life for you. Let me give you some life lesson real quick. If somebody's going haywire and you slightly go a little bit above that, the situation's out of hand already. If you want to diffuse a situation, you got to stay even keel. Am I saying I'm good at that? No, I'm telling you that's how it's supposed to be or how it works. If you slightly meet somebody, they're typically going to go with her. Trust me, I'm married. I figured it out. All right. I know, right? I hang out with some of you guys. I know how it goes. You got to stay even keel the whole way through. And that's what you got to do with these. You'll have somebody that's going crazy on you on these calls out of nowhere. And you're kind of like thinking to yourself, like, what the heck? Where did this come from, right? Like they're going off on you. They're talking about some crazy stuff, right? They're talking about how you're a POS and how you called them and it's like out of nowhere. It's like you were just talking about saving money and then all of a sudden you're just a crook. And some of you go, listen now, I'm not a crook. I promise you, you ain't gonna call me no crook now. Like, why do you care? That's my thought when I hear y'all say this. I'm like, why do you care? Why do you care that? No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about y'all. I'm like, why do y'all care that they think you're a crook? Who cares? Who in here thinks they're a crook? Raise your hand if you think you're a crook. Just the Patterson brothers. Right? Patterson brothers. No one in here thinks they're a crook. Who in here thinks another agent's a crook?
In here?
In here. Another agent in here is a crook. Right? Nobody. So why do we care what random emotionally unstable person thinks. Why do we care? Get over it. You're never gonna like if they don't close, you're never gonna talk to them again anyway. Most likely. And if you do, you're not gonna remember that you talked to them anyway. So just keep it cool, dude. Stay there. They start going, "Oh, you're a crook, and all you do is this, all you do is this." What is the ideal response to that, Joe?
That's fine.
Address agree. Address agree.
Address agree, sure. Listen, you're calling me a crook. I agree with you.
I can assure you, I am a crook.
I assure you, I am a crook, and if you give me your information, you are
In
screwed. Right?
advance.
And then now let's go ahead and get this done so we can start saving money. No, you know how you address that when somebody is like, "You're a crook, you're the blah blah blah." Listen, all I want to do today is get you those benefits that you called about, and then you move forward. If they go with you, great. If they don't, what do? Listen, all I want to do today is get you those benefits that you called in about, and I can do that by doing this. They don't come down. What do? One more time. Hey, I'm just trying to get you those benefits. And those of you who had already answered hang up, you're the ones with a higher burn rate probably. There's some things that you'll close if you stay there. Now, I'm not saying hanging up in that situation is a horrible thing. Like if you want to hang up there, fine, whatever. I'm not going to be upset about that. But at the same time, need your emotional states to be low, your resistance to be low, your stress levels to be a lower cap. Wow, we spent like 45 minutes on just that one. All right.
Hey, we appreciate
One a day. I guess we could do that. Could do that. Anyway, all right, yeah, that's maybe what we'll do. Inbound leads, expect benefits, expect transaction, expect to be quick, intend to save money, intend not to swap, and intend to get bennies. The resistance is low. That's the one I think that we can learn the most from. You need to get on the phone understanding that the resistance is low. If the resistance is not low, you're doing something wrong. Just being straight up with you. If you're getting hung up on at your scope of appointment all the time, what are you most likely doing wrong? Someone tell me.
Not talking to them. Look like you're not.
There it is, right there. Boom. Your hook's not interesting enough. If they're like, see you later, you didn't get their attention enough. How do you know you have their attention at a good spot? How should you know that?
Questions, or they just don't stay. They just don't hang up.
Don't hang up. Listen, it's in the question. It's if I could save you that money today, that would be great, wouldn't it? If they answer back with, well, I mean, yeah, okay. Is that person fully intentionally? No. I say, okay, well, listen, the way we're going to make sure that you are covered or the way that we're going to get you the money back, and I'm going to explain it again real quick in a short movie. I'm not going to go super in depth. Just going to get them. And then when they give me like yeah, that'd be good. Perfect. That's when I'm going to say, listen, the way we're going to do that is I'm going to read this thing called scope of appointment. And then I read my scope of appointment. I go forward, right? Now, when I get to the fact finding and they're hanging up on me in the fact finding, what am I most likely doing wrong? What's the number one thing that y'all are doing wrong when I get to fact finding? That they're hanging up on you super quick.
Medicare. Social.
Well, no, someone said it over here.
Medicare.
Boom. Y'all are asking for the Medicare number entirely too early or relying on it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say it a whole lot, but nothing makes my skin crawl more than when I hear someone go, well, Beatty, I can't help you today unless you give me that Medicare number. Why does that make my skin crawl, Brian? Because you could just stop there. Because you can. You can help them without the Medicare number. You can help them. The reason you're telling me you can't help them is because you're lazy. Straight up. Just being real with you. You can help them. You can. Right? You're adding unneeded resistance. You actually put friction in the call by doing that. You understand? That's not resistance from them. That's resistance from you. The only way I can help you today is if you give me your Medicare number. That's not true. So the only resistance that came up was you. You're the one that brought resistance in, right? Now the only way I can help you is if you'll tell me yes to every question I ever answer. No, right? The only ones we have to answer yes to are scope of appointment and is this call recorded, right? Now outside of that, I'm good, right? There's some things that y'all are putting in there that are friction that don't even need it, right? They don't know zip about Medicare. They don't want to know zip about Medicare. So keep that in mind. And then unpredictable, don't let that throw you off. They're unpredictable. You just be as predictable as you can and bring things back, make it as predictable as you can. All right. Cameron, was today's training useful for you? Was it useful to see some of this, talk about this? Do you think it'd be useful to go through all these and talk about these this way? Very good. All right. Thank you, Cameron.
Joe thinks they're stupid. Joe hates them.
All right. All right. Back in. Listen, today, I know that we are in that weird state between AEP, OEP. Remember, I think Justin said it very well yesterday. You know, if you go all the way down to zero in your efforts, it is very hard to get the lawnmower cranked back up from zero when we come back in January ready to go. Obviously not going to make you guys go all out or anything. I mean, I think you guys deserve a little bit of a mental break anyway. But please understand we are a business, so we got to make what, JT? We got to make money. Got to make money. So if somebody's in the chat, grab the chat. If you have been playing basketball for way entirely too long, maybe go get on the phone and call somebody, right? Talk to people. Follow up with your customers. That should be your priority. You understand that? Your priority is calling people that you closed during AEP, checking in on them, making sure they got their cards, making sure that they are all good, all that jazz. That should be your priority. And then checking the chat, making sure we're helping people, calling leads that you have that are coming in, making sure that we're staying on top of that. Don't have to be like the grind of AEP, but we still are running a business and there's still people we got to help. So let's make sure we are doing that. Understood? Awesome. Y'all have a great day. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Hang up